Esmeralda, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on. We are honored to have you on. So I got to ask you, we do a little research before everybody comes on, check out the IG page and all that. And the first thing I noticed was did you have a white Mustang GT with the, well, tell everybody, what do you call your car?
Oh yeah, the name is Marshmallow. It's also a manual because my mom did not want me to get a sports car if it wasn't manual.
Of course
And
not.
so she said if I had a choice. I could get a Mustang Fastback 5.0 the year that it was, but it had to be manual, but I didn't know how to drive a manual, or I could have like a Corolla. And I was like, no, I would learn how to drive the manual.
Let me learn how to drive that then.
Yeah.
All
A
right, so I got a
Corolla.
question.
That's my speed, the Corolla.
Yeah, Corolla's, yeah, much a family sedan, very
Yeah.
sensible. What's the fastest you've ever had it? And mom's not listening right now.
I would say I probably hit like 102, but that was just in one night in Starkville on a back road. But
Hey, that's
Okay.
how, that's how we
it was
do it.
like, yeah, it was like, it went really, you don't even notice you're going that fast unless you look at the speedometer.
Why is it much cooler that she drives a manual and Jim, you drive a manual, but it's really not that cool that you do it. It's way more badass that she does it.
I mean, I don't know why, but I'm just glad to hear that it is a manual because otherwise I would maybe cut the show off right then and there.
I had a Mustang GT myself. It was a 2003 model, though 4.6, and it was a manual as well because it's the only way to go when you have a Mustang.
Of course.
So the one more thing I noticed before I turn you over to Daniel, I noticed that the shoe game looked like it was on point. So
Oh
tell
man,
me,
I'm obsessed.
obsessed. So what's your favorite pair of kicks you got?
Probably my Syracuse dunks that I got recently, or I would say my Louis Vuitton shoes that I just got.
Louis?
They're very nice. I have them in my closet over there.
Okay. Well, look, I mean, everybody's going to see this video. You want to show us? I mean, you can. It's up to you.
Red bottom. Here we go. The unveiling.
We're going
This is the most expensive thing we've ever shown on this podcast.
This is the first time ever we've had a
this-
reveal on this podcast like this.
I'm fired up. I can't wait.
I hope she like drops them down from the top of the camera,
Well, here's my
Kinda-
Syracuse.
Ooh.
But these are solid. I still have this little man on there.
Oh boy, I bet Mello even wants them shoes.
And then the LVs, they come in this box that
Ooh,
I haven't even, I took them out to take a picture and model them, but
The unboxing of these shoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are not watching right now, I mean, we got tags coming out. We got the paper still there. She is literally sliding it off. That's how you know
It's
these
gift
shoes are high
wrap.
dollar.
Yeah, it's gift wrap.
They
It's
got a personalized
personalized.
note. It's to Esmeralda. That's what I saw. Oh, they're in a bag, guys.
Bag.
In a
Oh,
bag.
a-
Oh
A
man,
box. Each one has their own bag.
individual bags.
Hey, Randy, my shoe game just
another bag.
Oh, another
Whoa.
bag.
These
Randy,
are really nice.
I don't feel as good about my shoe game anymore, bro.
Damn.
I ain't got nothing like
Wait.
that. Oh,
So for those that ain't seeing, is that like a mustard yellow or is that like a caramel? I can't tell. I mean,
It's
they
like a
fresh.
mustard yellow, but they're nice.
Those are real nice. I don't even want to know what they cost. So we're just gonna let you box. It'll take her 10 minutes to put those back in the same wrap they came in.
Man, that
But
Yeah.
yeah, I love shoes.
clearly you do. I got one question before we get into this. Like, where do you wear those? Like, I don't think
I
I don't think I could. Like, I'm
don't, yeah.
too careless.
you know
with
somebody
my
will step
feet.
on your feet, Daniel, as soon as you warm out.
Oh, for sure. I got big feet too, so like it's just one of those things, man. It's a problem. People step
Unless
on my
it's
feet all the
a
time.
soccer turf field, I'll wear them because they'll be clean.
I got you. All right, Esmo, let's get into this. Obviously, when we, have guests on, we want to tell their stories. So the best way to tell your story is to go to the beginning. So in the beginning, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about your hometown.
I'm from Laurel, Mississippi, most like Powers community, Jones County. So I went to Northeast Jones as a little kid. But before that, we grew up there. My dad, he's from Michoacan, Mexico. And my mom, she's from Dilley, Texas. So it's a very small town, close to San Antonio. But I have a twin sister that we are very, very close, but she obviously took a different route. We grew up playing soccer because my dad always played it, and I took it serious because I'm a daddy's girl. And I quite literally would want to do everything that he did. And so when I saw that he was playing soccer, that's when I started. And it started when I was like 3 years old. My sister started after, so when she was 4. But we grew up just playing soccer, watching the game, watching my
Who
dad and stuff like that.
who's older and by how long?
My sister's older and by 5 seconds, and she's like
Five.
everybody.
Dang, that doctor was quick.
Yeah.
Wow, 5 seconds. So, obviously, growing up with a twin in the house or having a brother or sister, in any household, there can create, quite the competition. So, would you say that you guys fueled each other like as you're growing up, or you mentioned that there wasn't a lot of closeness, but how did that dynamic play out as far as growing up? Was there pressure to be good? Was there no pressure to be good? Or were you trying to be the best? How did that work out?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, one person is going to challenge you to be better if you want to be better. And so she would challenge me, and I would challenge her as well. She's very book smart. And so if I would do an assignment, she would get kind of mad in a way because she hasn't done the assignment yet, but she's more of a procrastinator, and I try to get stuff done. And when I would see maybe she went to the gym or she's running and I'm not running, but I'm going to do it later, I would kind of get mad. Or if she went to play soccer, I would kind of get mad, but not really. But it would kind of push me to be like, okay, just go right now, instead of later. But I would say we push each other to the best. We don't really compete with each other because we're both different. And if she wanted to play soccer or be the fastest runner or be the best soccer player, she could have if she had that mentality. And if I wanted to be the smartest person with a 4.0 GPA like her out of undergrad, I could have done the same thing. But it's really not my mentality. My mentality was more of the soccer side, the more of the athletic, more of the working out, more of the eating healthy and stuff. And her mentality was book smart, and it's okay. Everybody's different.
So, I mean, obviously, you have quite the resume. You are very athletic, but as a kid, were you playing multiple sports? Did you see athleticism coming easy to you, or was it something where you just tried a bunch of sports and you were like, oh man, I'm actually pretty good at this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I did play a lot of sports. Me and my sister did when we were growing up. So actually before soccer, we started cheer at Powers, and I didn't really like it because we would just go out there and cheer for the football team. It wasn't really like a sport, I guess. I don't want to say that because cheerleaders are like, it is a sport, but I don't know, you really don't compete with other people. And like, if you make the cheer squad, you're all gonna play. And if you make like a baseball team or a football team or a soccer team, you're really not all gonna play. They're gonna pick a selection. And so that's what I decided, like, what a sport is. And so I really didn't like that. And then we went to soccer, and I liked that. But when we went to high school, my sister and I, we did track, we did soccer, we did softball, we did tennis. And I remember my junior year of high school, I tried to do softball because that was the only sport that I hadn't done in high school. And the softball coach was like, you have to come here during fifth period. And I was like, no, I think it was my senior year. You have to
Well,
come here in
but
fifth period instead
before
of.
you get into all that, now hold on, we got to pump
Okay,
the
okay.
brakes. We're gonna get into that. Um, I'm just intrigued. You have, I mean, obviously you're very candid about the relationship with you and your sister. You're both different people. There was a passion, for soccer that you found. Obviously, it was just sports in general. But what athletes, as a kid growing up in Laurel, Mississippi, like what what athletes are you looking up to? Who's on your bedroom wall?
My jersey's on my bedroom wall right now, but the athlete I really looked up to was like Messi, Lionel Messi, because he was short and he was kind of
Never heard of him.
He's lying.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good one. Who else? Obviously, he's probably one of the most obvious, but who else? Gotta be some
yeah,
others.
I would say Carly Lloyd. She's a woman. Alex Morgan's out there, but there's this one man that his name is Zinedine Zidane, and I don't think y'all know him, but he was really, really good. and he was a soccer player and he was a midfielder, but he was from France and he got a red card because he's famous for hitting this guy with his head in the chest because this guy apparently said something about his sister.
He's my favorite player
I was
already.
just fixing to say Daniel is all for the red card.
I don't if you don't go out trying to get a yellow card, I don't even want to know you. I don't. Like, there should be more yellow cards in soccer. And then like I'd have probably a lot more favorite athletes that are soccer players if that were the case. But I mean, obviously, you know, you're in tune with the game. You got some idols that are just, you know, top notch, best of the best. You know, with that, do you start playing soccer, you know, for a club at an early age? I mean, I noticed that you competed in the Disney Showcase, you were in the Olympic developmental program. Were these things that came from club, and was that through the Mississippi Rush, or was that a different team?
Yeah, well, we tried to get in a club like my 7th grade year of high school because I told my mom I really liked soccer and we really weren't into a club. So we tried out for this Laurel one and my sister and I didn't make it. And so there was the Hattiesburg one and I told mom I didn't really want to go there because the people who are good in Mississippi are in Jackson. That's what I told mom because that's what I think. And she was like, okay, we'll go to Jackson. So I actually started at Brandon BFC Football Club and I went there for 2 years. And then the coach for Mississippi Rush, we would always play them in like a final. And I was always on the Brandon team and he would always talk to me after the game and he would want me to come to his team, but I was loyal to my team. So I would never go. And then like the second year we played him, he asked me to come and then I went to Mississippi Rush and I've been with him ever since. But the ODP was just like a side thing. And I really liked it because a lot of people would come like from Minnesota or Michigan and stuff like that. And we would all play together, like Tennessee, Texas. You had all different players. And when I play with different players, I learned different styles and I play like them because you're playing with them. And so that was really fun.
Absolutely. You mentioned some high school and kind of when things got serious. For those that don't know, what high school did you attend?
I went to Northeast Jones.
Northeast Jones. So I got to ask you. So you said something about your twin being more into the books, but let me just read a couple things. I mean, member of the Beta Club, the Spanish Club, the Key Club, FCA, and TARS, student council, also all that while you played, from what we could tell, soccer, tennis. You mentioned softball, track, and cheer, which we know cheer that wasn't your thing. So you kind of mentioned that maybe academics wasn't as high as it was for your twin, but definitely got some accomplishments here.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How did you manage to do all this stuff and be such a great athlete?
I mean, it's hard, but then you have to think again, like my mentality is more of my family. They do so much for me and I'm not really going to go to school and just give up my academics because I was learned like, if you don't do your academics, you can't play the sport. And so I'd always want to play the sport. So I'd make sure that I was high on my academics and not just to get through, but I also had my sister there to push me because my sister was A+. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to get an A. And my getting an A, I would get a high B, you know, and stuff like that. So
yeah, I can relate, except for mine was like high C's.
These are degrees.
C's get degrees.
that's true.
So let me just read off some soccer stuff. And I swear I think some of these are misprints, but we're going to go through it. 155 goals in your high school career with 24 hat tricks, 51 assists, Mississippi Wendy's high school Heisman finalist, and served as a team captain as a senior, named to the best of the Golden Boot with a record of 53 goals in your final campaign, which was 13th nationally and led the state of Mississippi.
Take that for data.
Take that for data. So is it safe to say that you enjoyed high school?
I did actually. My senior year was probably my best year. So it was really fun. I'm really blessed.
Definitely blessed. It sounds like you were highly blessed and favored. But so your favorite season was that you said you had a lot of fun. I'm assuming it was your senior season of high school, or was this maybe some college years? I mean, senior year.
My out of college, probably some college years I have, but my senior year was peak.
peak. My senior year was pretty peak too. I don't remember a lot of it, but I bet it was a lot of fun.
And 13th nationally in goals, Randy. That's a fun season, bro.
That is definitely fun. I wasn't 13th in anything, maybe like truancy or something. But so I got to ask you, at what point do colleges start approaching you, and when do you start taking it serious?
They started approaching me like the end of the 10th grade, early junior year. And so I started taking interest when we would go to ODP, which was like my 10th grade year. And they would talk about ID camps because I really didn't know what that was. And we had to go to ID camps in order to get seen in Mississippi by these coaches, although they are in Mississippi, like SEC teams, they're in Mississippi, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, but they're not going to come to Jones County and watch you play high school soccer. They're going to go to your select teams or ODP camps, regional camps, national camps. And so you have to basically put yourself out there. And so that's really when I started looking more into the colleges because you had to go to ID camps.
Absolutely. So what made you pick Jones College?
I knew the coach from a while, Coach Dolores. So she used to train us when we were younger, and it was more of a fit for me and my family. And also I didn't have many SEC schools picked out of high school that reached out to me. And that was my ultimate goal, was to go to SEC. That's always been my dream as a little kid. I've always told my dad I was going to play SEC soccer, and only had one offer, and it was a walk-on. And I didn't want to like go there because I knew if I went to a junior college and I got better for those 2 years, that I could transfer and still go to an SEC. And since I knew Coach Dolores and she really, put her money where her mouth is with her offer, I just went there, and it was a really good fit. And I'm really blessed I went there. And I don't think, had I not gone there, I wouldn't have been ready for SEC or my college career right now.
This is a great conversation, and Daniel will tell you, we've had this conversation in regards to my daughter, because I took her to LSU ID camp as a 10th grader. And, she was getting worked by girls who were a year or two older than her from Florida, Texas, Virginia, and she was getting really defeated. And we explained, we weren't bringing you there because we thought you were going to be better than them. We wanted you to see what the best look like. And then what was great about what you said was, me and Daniel have had this conversation, and we talked about the possible junior college route. And he says, if she has to develop at the junior college level, go ahead and knock out your 2 years of prerequisites with classes. And so, he really opened me up to that thought process. So to hear you say that's the route you went, it just really sets that in my mind that, if the right school doesn't come calling and she has an opportunity to go the route you did, it sounds like a great way to go.
For sure. Yeah, it was kind of hard for me too, because as a human, I believe people are like, oh my gosh, if I sign with a JUCO, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, why is she going there? Or why isn't she going to a 4-year? Like, did she not get off, or did she not do this? And you're like thinking about everybody else. But in that moment, in those decisions, you have to think about what is good for you. You have to forget everybody, like what's good for you. And so that was really hard, but there's nothing wrong with going JUCO. Like, we were really good,
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's been soccer, baseball, football, we've talked to a lot of athletes on this show that have went JUCO all the way up to the pros. So, whatever route you take. And so for you, freshman season, it all worked out well, named all conference. Your team won the region 23 championship. You appeared in 17 matches, making 15 starts, scored 16 goals with 8 assists for a 40-point season, and you served as team captain. So let me ask you, you said SEC was the expectations, but obviously you go to Jones, but were you expecting that much success your freshman season?
I
And not just personally, but as a team as well.
Oh, for sure. Jones is known as Winnersville. And so for sure, that was also another big thing why I chose Jones, because I knew I was going to get a ring. And so when I saw the team and we were practicing and training, I knew it was a winning team. And I knew that if I could contribute what my coach wanted me to contribute, I knew I would have done whatever she wanted. And so that's what I did. I just went out there and I played the game that I know how to play.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, hat tricks are something that became normal for you as I've seen, but you had one in the championship game against LSU Eunice. Would it be safe to say that was your favorite game?
I think that was one of my favorite games, but the goals were pretty good. Like the first goal, it was when my midfielder had passed it and it was in the air and the goalkeeper was going after it, and I just chipped it over the goalkeeper. And those are really fun because I'm still running, so I just make a little loop and I come to my teammate, because soccer is really a team sport, and so it wouldn't happen. It's not like I took the ball and I dribbled through everybody. The team helped me and stuff. So I really give credit a lot to the people who set me up for those goals.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I take my daughter to these games, and when you watch it on a college level and you see the way the team works together, the chemistry, the communication, you really get a breakdown of how much it really is a team sport. You definitely can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
A question, we were talking right off the top of the episode, talking about, your Instagram page and everything. And I seen that you're huge into fitness. Was that kind of training something that you were doing, in high school or at Jones, or was that something that came later?
Actually, it was in high school, probably middle school. My dad got this exercise program. It's called P90X, and he started doing it every single morning at 5 a.m. before he would go to work. And obviously, as a little girl, I wanted to do everything my dad was doing. And so I started telling him, hey, can you wake me up? And he wouldn't wake me up, but I would get mad because I would hear him, and I would go in the living room and I would work out with him. And so that's basically the program that's built like whatever fitness that I know, the nutrition, the fitness, what I go by. And so like, I feel like
It almost killed me.
when I was in middle school.
Daniel,
P90X almost killed me.
Daniel, when you hear this, are you hoping that Bella gets up and works out with you at 4:30 a.m.?
Yeah, of course. I had a very proud moment the other day. We were outside and the neighbor's like, Bella, what are you gonna do in your garage? She goes, I'm gonna do CrossFit with my dad.
There you go. He's the only guy in this podcast that gets up there early and works out. We're not going with you. Sorry.
Get it in when I can, man.
Another thing, and we talk about the progression, and I see as your pictures as you're developing soccer and going through college. When did the tattoo sleeve start?
Oh my, as soon as I turned 18, I got a little small one. Me and my whole family got the little small one. So me and my dad got this little small one right here. And then my dad and my mom got this small one. I mean, my mom and my sister got this one right here.
Yeah.
And then it just went from then.
I mean, it goes hard on the soccer field because, like we interview a lot of, like I said, baseball and football guys. We see that, but you don't just see a lot of girls with a badass, sleeve on when they're playing soccer. So
yeah.
What's your favorite tattoo you got on the sleeve?
Oh, probably this one. It's a lot of everybody's favorite one. It's very detailed.
It's intimidating.
Shout out to the tattoo artist.
We got so many visual graphics on this episode, guys.
We do. This video is getting released ASAP.
How long does that tattoo take, and how many sessions?
My whole sleeve?
Just the one, the tiger, the one that you showed.
I mean, I can't really remember on top of my head, but I would probably say like 2.5. And I think I paid like $350. But I've been going to the same artist did my entire arm. And so he would give me like family discounts.
You're like a soccer star. He's got to give you a discount, right?
Absolutely.
I would get a tattoo, but I'd want to be able to try it out and then return it if I didn't like it.
Oh yeah, that can't happen.
That's not possible.
Unless you do the little.
Yeah, I need like the little water and the stamp. I could do that.
Oh God. All right. So sophomore season, you were named all conference and all region. Again, you were first team all academic honor. So you can keep playing that humble card on your academics. Started 16 matches, scored 17 goals, added 5 assists, led Jones in goals, points, and shots, as well as serving as team captain again. I could read stats all day, but plain and simple, freshman year, sophomore year, you're absolutely balling out. So your dream was to play SEC. At what point does Mississippi State reach out?
Right. So my sophomore year of Jones, I tore my ACL a day before Mississippi State was supposed to come watch me. So they had reached out to me. Coach Dolores and Coach Torrey were helping me get that out because I knew it was my sophomore year and I knew it was like almost closer to the end of the season. And I needed to like, hey, I need to make a decision, and I want my offers. What are my offers? And so they would obviously send out the emails while I was in class. So they were a lot of help. And they were like, I got a call from Dolores, and Dolores was like, Mississippi State wants you. And I was like, so shocked. I was like, Mississippi State, like SEC. And she was like, yes, like you need to come to my office. They want to talk to you. And so I went there, and so we talked, and they said that they were going to come to the PRCC game versus Jones. which is like a rivalry game. Like I would say Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. And so we had to play Southwest like a day before because it was like a reschedule because it rained the last time. So we were playing Southwest and nobody knew about Mississippi State offer except my mom, my dad, my sister, and the coaches. I never told anybody my business until it was in the newspaper and everybody saw, or, they posted it. And so I was on the field and it was second half. We were already winning like 6-0. And I went to try to score a goal and I was trying to score with my right foot when I should have scored with my left foot. And when I turned to shoot with my right foot, the girl took me out and I couldn't get up. And I'm always get up when I fall because my parents will yell at me. And so I didn't get up. The girl came to me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And as soon as that, I didn't know what to think. I knew my leg was completely broken. I looked at it and it was normal. And I don't know if the pain was that my offer is off the line now because when I'm supposed to stay to Mississippi State, or that something's wrong with my knee. So that was very tragic. And so I had to call them that night. I'm on crutches. I can't play tomorrow. I can't even walk. My knee is completely swollen ASAP right away. I don't know what to do. And so that's when they started contacting me like that time.
Daniel, let me ask you, man, as a coach, how bad you feeling if your star player gets hurt when you're up 6-0?
I mean, selfishly, or like, how are you feeling for them? I mean, it's a terrible feeling, like, for them, but it's also a selfish, like, the team is going to be hit. That's a hit anytime your best player goes out. But I think what you have to do is just rest on your laurels that you are deep enough and you practice hard enough and next man up. And that person who did get hurt, hopefully they can come back and have some type of leadership effect while they're injured until they're able to get back on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. So with that, Esmo, I was looking into, your Mississippi State career right off the jump, and I noticed that you didn't play until Vanderbilt in the SEC tourney. Is this because of the setback of the ACL?
I got released that day, actually. I was released at the Vanderbilt, like at the SEC tournament. So I played. I would say so. It was obviously a setback. But it was also the timing because I tore it October, had surgery November. They wanted me in the spring, so I went in January. And so I was doing rehab here, obviously at home, right when I tore it. And then I would do rehab in Starkville, and then I would also have to drive. And so it was very complicated because I was doing like 3 times a week, and it gets tiring because your knee still looks the same, it still feels the same. It's already 3 months. You go do your little test for your knee and you don't get the results that you want. And so you're just thinking to yourself, like, what do I do? What am I not doing? And so when Coach James had put me out on the field for Vanderbilt, I was honored. Like it just felt like it wasn't real because I haven't been on a field playing in that environment, especially since I was in the SEC, tournament playing. It was very honored. I was very honored. And I had told him that multiple times. And he told me that he didn't just put me out on the field just because he felt bad. He said that he put me out on the field because I earned it, that he's not going to give anybody anything as long as they, earn it, he will. And so, I was really blessed.
I saw the photos. How hard is it to play in that big brace?
Very hard. I hate the brace. I feel like the surgeon should not tell people to wear the brace because first off, it's very heavy. No matter what type of brace you get, it limits you, obviously, because if it didn't, what's the point of wearing it? And then number 3, it's just all around no, I don't like it.
It's probably because you're all about swagger and that thing doesn't look good either.
maybe a little bit.
So, you played in 5 games. Obviously only because it was a weird season. COVID, you had so many cancellations. I looked up and down your schedule, noticed how many games that y'all obviously had canceled. And so, you're coming back from injury. And then on top of that, you got games being canceled. So, just from what you got from that season, did you learn a lot just, being able to play in the SEC, getting what time you were able to get in?
For sure, I learned. So it was obviously a big change because I came in with my ACL torn. And so I was never used to that. I was used to playing every single game, being top player every single game. I was never on the sideline. And so when I went into Mississippi State, I was thinking to myself, what now? Like, what do I do? And I knew if I was doing glute bridges on the sideline, my team wouldn't know me because I was new, they were new. And so that's when I started supporting my team and helping them and screaming for them. And so that leadership role really came out of me that I thought I had, but I really didn't have. And so I learned a lot mentally there and also physically. So obviously playing with more athletic in the SEC, more tall people, more stronger people, more faster people, just really set the tone for my athleticism, I would say, after SEC, because I would play every single day with them, you know, with the girls that compete out on the field. And it didn't matter if I competed on the field, I still competed with the girls every single day at practice, morning and night. I would lift with them. And so it was really a blessing. And I really do think that it really changed the way I play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so obviously, you're going to end up transitioning to Southern Miss, but before you do, you do earn your degree at Mississippi State. What did you get it in?
I got my undergrad in chemistry.
All right. And so the reason why I asked is because, when you're making a decision to transfer to Southern Miss, because I see that you're obviously going for your master's, are you picking Southern Miss strictly for soccer, or does academics play any kind of role in it?
Actually, I wasn't deciding on getting transfer portal. So I graduated and I still had years of eligibility left, but I didn't know that until my coach had called me and was like, hey, do you want to go in the portal? You know, they could pay for your master's. And I was like, what? Like, what is the transfer portal? And so that's when he told me. And when I had entered the portal, many schools had reached out, and Southern Miss was one of my top notch schools because number one, it's really close to home because I live in Petal, Mississippi right now. And number two, I know a lot of people that go to Southern. You know, we played soccer together in Jackson, Hattiesburg, Laurel, the county schools, you know, they went there. And also I knew I was going to get a master regardless of wherever I go. And so I feel like it was a mixture of both.
Gotcha. And so, you talked about the SEC, as a Golden Eagle, I mean, y'all have been playing nothing but SEC teams. It's kind of gotten off to a rough start, but, you just came off a tie with number 9 Ole Miss in Oxford. So even with the rough start, do you feel like yesterday, and that was just yesterday's game, it will be a turning point for you and Southern Miss and, especially, going into Ole Miss and playing them that well?
I sure hope so. It's a turning point. We can't continue to lose that much. We knew what we're capable of and stuff. So I really don't know what happened, but the entire team, it can't be just one individual that wants it. The entire team has to want it. And what I say to the team is like, you cannot look at teams that, oh my God, we're playing an SEC team. We're playing a top 9 team. We're playing ACC. We're playing Big 12. We're playing, doesn't even matter, Southern USA. Like, it doesn't matter, high school team. You have to look at them like they're a soccer player. They put their boots on the same way you put your boots on. They're human. They don't have a superpower that God gave them. You're human. And so if you want to win that ball, you're going to win the ball. And so that's what I told the team yesterday. As soon as we got on the field, I pulled them in and I said, the only way they can score is if that ball goes in the back of the net. So if you're next to the player and that ball is in a critical condition, get the ball, win the ball. And I said, we cannot lose to this team. I said, they're a top 9 number team. They're really good. And so are we. And so we just played our game. And I made sure to say that second half too, because we brought 2 SEC teams 0-0 at halftime. And then at second half, they beat us like 2-0 or 3-1. And that cannot happen. Like, you cannot just quit after halftime. And I told them again, I was like, don't go down. Like just hold your ground. And so I really think the entire team wanted it, and it was a team effort. And I feel like we did good, but we need to get some goals on the board. We can't just continue to tie,
Well, I have to believe that y'all have the ability to be better, like you're saying, because, I've been to, over the last 2 seasons, I've been to quite a few games in Oxford. I've watched them, take out Memphis with ease, who was ranked in the top 25. I watched them last year against number 5 LSU, absolutely wrecked them. I've watched Ole Miss, and especially in their house, dominating. So for y'all to go in there, and even though it was a tie, to not allow them to score, that's why I feel like it'll definitely be a turning point with y'all. So with that, best of luck going into playing Marshall next week. I see y'all got a stretch of games that actually isn't SEC. So, I feel like the games that y'all have been playing probably have prepared y'all for that. But, with that, I'm going to let you off the soccer seat, and I'm going to let Daniel play a game with you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Before we let you bounce, we play a game with all of our guests, and you're no different. You're going to play this game whether you like it or not.
All right.
It's called This or That. I give you two options. It's very simple. You just got to pick one option or the other. You can't say both, can't say neither. Just be decisive and pick whatever's on your mind. So, with that, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Would you rather go to the gym or go to a movie?
Go to the gym.
What is your favorite thing to do at the gym?
Cardio. I would say arms. I love working arms, but I also love working legs. So it's a lot.
Cardio. Boo.
Yeah, that's not unpopular answer. I'm glad you changed it. But if you're gonna do cardio, what do you? Please don't say you're on the elliptical. Just kind of just.
Oh
cruise.
my, that's for old people.
Okay. Just
Oh
making
man,
sure.
I just felt shots fired. Randy.
Ouch. I just did that
Well, if you
today.
do it, not old people, but I always see little. We go really early, and so I always see like the little grannies on the elliptical. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Listen, I got bad knees, Esmeralda. Jeez.
But yeah, I'll probably do the stair stepper, and then I'll go to the treadmill.
Gotcha. What's better, Vegas or Costa Rica?
Oh my. Probably Vegas.
Vegas.
The only reason I'll say that is because we always get a rental car and we'll go to Beverly Hills. And there's a lot of stuff to do over there.
And that's
it's
where you
like-
get shoes like that at.
Where
Yeah.
you get the Louis. So wait, you
Probably
said Vegas was your
Vegas'
favorite because
Palace.
of Beverly Hills?
what?
Probably Vegas because of their shoe store actually in Caesar's Palace. Their shoe store goes crazy.
Pretty legit.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch a horror movie or a comedy?
Comedy.
What's your favorite movie all time?
Probably Justin Bieber because I'm obsessed with Justin Bieber.
All
and
right, never mind.
Daniel, that wasn't even a question on the sheet. Why did you ask it, bro?
I thought it was gonna be something good. All right. Would you rather ride a roller coaster or would you rather ride a water slide?
Water slide.
Yeah, that's legit. I like water slides. Would you rather go to a sporting event or a concert?
Sporting event.
What sporting event? If there was one sporting event that's on your bucket list that you got to go to, what are you going to?
A soccer final.
Soccer final, like a World Cup final, like a national championship final, like a
World Cup.
what about music? Are you a music fan?
I am.
Besides Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
yeah, she just told you that.
so
Mistletoe is my favorite song though.
what when you're in the car, what's on the radio? What's on the playlist? What are you
Justin
listening to?
Bieber, are you not listening?
I mean, I'm more of like hip hop, but I do pop because of Justin, but I do hip hop like rap. So my favorite artist is Little Baby.
Oh, little baby. You
Lil
say
Baby.
it like, little baby. I love it.
Little baby.
I love little baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
All right. So you've had an injury in your day. So would you rather have intense pain for an hour or would you rather have just a dull aching pain that lasts all day long?
probably dull aching pain because when that nerve block went off, that was horrible.
That's some bad stuff. That's not fun.
Yeah, that was painful.
Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
A hero.
Who is your hero?
My dad.
I had a feeling that was
Perfect.
coming.
Not Justin Bieber.
He's a close second. All right. Would you rather have massive success on accident or modest success on purpose? And Randy, you could probably phrase this a little bit better.
Well, go ahead. Answer that part first. Then I'm gonna follow it up.
Modest success on purpose and a lot of success by accident.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of success by accident.
There you go.
Never mind. I don't have. So the follow up. Everybody always says modest success on purpose, right? And then I give them this scenario. If I was to tell you, I'm going to give you $100 million or you can earn $20 million, which one are you going to take?
And then a lot of them still say they'll earn.
You said
20.
earn?
Yeah.
Okay, but now you're $80 million more poor because you didn't just take the $100 million.
Oh yeah, that's true. Just yeah.
See, and no, and everybody answers, and I guess I did too until I heard it said like that. Like pride gets in the way, right? You're like, I want to earn my money, but then
For
the guy
sure.
was like, okay, well now I got $80 million more than you. I'm like, fuck that, give me 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Esmeralda, that's it. You're off the hot seat. Anything before we let you get out of here? Anything you want to plug or promote?
No, y'all did everything. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I had a feeling, and that I'm always prepared when guests don't want to plug or promote themselves because this is your story. We got to put you out there. So, everybody out there, listen. If you want to look at Esmo's shoe game, you want to see her soccer game, or you just want to see what she's got going on in her regular everyday life, go to Instagram at Esmeralda Figueroa, or you can follow her at Southern Miss Soccer. Also, this one's big. All right. We are winning on Saturday. No ifs, ands, buts about it. At 6 p.m., you're going into Huntington, West Virginia, and you're going to beat the bumbling herd of Marshall. Guaranteed. You've heard it here first. So if y'all want to check that out, obviously, if you can't make the trip over to Marshall, go to ESPN Plus, 6 p.m., Southern Miss at Marshall. It's going to be a good one. Esmo, thank you so much for joining us. If there's anything we can do along the way, reach out to us. And we wish you nothing but the best and success for the rest of the year.
Thank you for having me.
That's Esmeralda Figueroa, everybody. We are going to take a break, plug our sponsors. When we come back, we got a lot of football to talk about.